Let's talk about the Gartner hype cycle, this one. In 2025, if we apply that lens to AI, one thing becomes clear. AI is not sitting neatly in one place on the curve. It is stretched across the peak of inflated expectations, the trough of disillusionment, and the early slope of enlightenment, all at the same time. It feels like a smooth journey and more like rush hour traffic, with some lanes gridlocked, others crawling, and a few finally opening up. At the peak of inflated expectation, the noise is still loud. Although it is beginning to thin, we still hear bold claims that AI will replace entire professions, run governments, or usher in fully autonomous organizations almost overnight. In 2025, those claims have not vanished, but the tone around them has changed. Boards are more cautious, budgets are tighter, and executives are asking harder questions about value. The conversation is slowly shifting from what is possible towards what actually works. The balloon has not burst, but the helium is leaking, and tolerance for vague promises is wearing thin. Most organizations, however, find themselves much lower down the curve. In the trough of disillusionment, this is where many AI pilots failed to scale, or delivered far less than expected. The familiar refrains are easy to spot. The data was not ready, systems did not integrate, teams lacked the right skills, governance was unclear, or procurement processes moved too slowly. In truth, AI did not fail. What failed were inflated expectations, weak foundations, and assumptions that technology alone could substitute for leadership, process design, and change management. The trough is uncomfortable, but it is also necessary. This is where illusions are stripped away and practical understanding begins to form. Quietly, with far less fanfare, AI is climbing the slope of enlightenment. In 2025, this is where the most meaningful progress is happening. AI is no longer paraded as a miracle solution, but embedded into everyday workflows. It supports project managers by flagging risks and automating reports, assists clinicians rather than replacing them, helps teachers personalize learning instead of automating education, and optimizes logistics, routing, and fleet management behind the scenes. In government and large organizations, it is increasingly used to reduce administrative burden so that human judgment can be applied where it matters most. The defining feature of this stage is restraint. Clear use cases, human in the loop, design, measurable outcomes, and stronger governance. So where does that leave us in 2025? The peak is thinning, but not gone. The trough is crowded and noisy. The slope of enlightenment is quietly gaining momentum. The organizations that will benefit most are not those that chase the loudest hype, but those that endured disappointment, learned the limits, and invested patiently in practical applications. 2025 is the year AI stopped being a headline and starts becoming plumbing, less visible, more dependable, and ultimately far more valuable. This is another installment of AI stories told by humans like you. I'm keen to know which part of the curve you think your organization is on and how that reality is shaping the way we work. Comment, hit that like button, and let's engage. And by the way, have a happy 2026. God bless.